Hi, this is Jacqueline here with the GROW program. Thank you for growing with me on today. I am broadcasting from the lighthouse. Tell you, it's the way things turned out. I took my son to the airport. I had a lot of different things going on today. And I'm telling you, I'm falling into a routine here. I really, truly am. But it's coming back around full circle where I'm getting ready to start getting back up in the morning early again, because I am an early bird. I really am. I get up early in the morning. It just so happened that I'm working with a clock. I'm working with a device that is not operating right. Nothing is operating right. Um, when I try to type, it types up different stuff. It just mess all up. See, that's the spiritual warfare that I deal with there. That insects and what's going on around the lighthouse. I'm telling you, it's a beautiful night. It's a real beautiful night. It's a peaceful night, as you can hear. I'm at the lighthouse and it's real busy here. It's a highway out there, but the highway been quiet for a few seconds. And before I started recording, I heard the Lord say, "Peace be still." I just heard that voice in my head, "Peace be still." And it was still I had never heard the lighthouse been this still ever. So I'm going to tell you, we have to hold on and wait on the Lord, honey. Just like I do. I have to hold on and wait on the Lord. I have to let God tell me when. When is the right time? When is the time? And where is the time? It wasn't out there with the insects tonight. It wasn't out there early today because I tried. I tried several times today. But the Lord, the beloved ancestors fixed it for me to be here in the lighthouse to talk about God is love and growing in God for a better way. And I'm going to tell you something. If you love them, and I know you do, tell them to grow with us too. Tell them to come grow with us for a better way, growing in God each and every day. I love you, kings and queens. I truly do. I dedicate my life to you. I dedicate my life each and every day. God saved me. I'm going to tell you something. God saved me. At the time I was growing, honey, I was growing. But I'm going to tell you something, that last blow that I went through, that weapon that formed against me, that 6-foot weapon that came into my life to destroy me, honey, literally did. Financially and emotionally wiped me out, left me devastated. And I was just too through. The spiritual warfare had already pushed my family away from me. So I was all by myself. It still am. It's just me and God in the world, honey. Me, God, and the beloved ancestors. I'm not around anyone. I'm not even around any of my family members. God has put me in this spot for a reason. Even a long-term friendship that I had, went south as I started growing, because you will find when you grab hold of God, it's those who gonna grab hold of you, but not to grab hold of you to go on through with you to the breakthrough so they can get their breakthrough. No, it's going to be those, honey, who going to grab hold of you to try to pull you down and pull you away from God. Hey, remember when you did this? Hey, remember, can't we still go do that? Well, come on, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, well, I don't want to hear about God today. No, don't tell me that, but let me tell you about this. Well, now I don't want to, we'll argue you down. You will have to go on this spiritual journey by yourself, honey. You will have to go do it alone. You will have to go walk in God alone. And then I'm going to tell you something. When they see you going and getting your breakthrough, they going to want to grow on too. They going to want to grow with you. So what you got to do, honey, just keep your eyes focused on God. Keep on like you got blinders on. Just keep on looking on. Remember the Queen Gladys Knight said, on, keep on looking on and on to God. Just keep on. Whatever's going on, spiritual warfare out there, I know it's oppression out there. I know the evil out there. I know what they doing over there. I know what they said over there. I remember what they told me, what they said about me. Back then in there, what they called me over there, what they said I was going to be there, how they kicked me down there, but God had me all the time there. God lifted me up there. God brought me out there. I'm going to tell you something, honey. I'll tell you about God, honey. God held on to me when I didn't even hold on to me. I ain't even let go. I said, well, God, I'm through. I'm done. That'll wipe me out, son. I'm over. It's over with for me. Let me go ahead and take care of my family. Let me take care of my daughter, make sure she taken care of, then I'm out. I had checked out for real, literally. I had stopped eating everything, honey. I had gave up hope. I had gave up everything. But I'm going to tell you something. God sent beloved ancestors, honey, who held on to me. They literally, I could feel them telling me don't break, telling me to hold on. It's coming. The breakthrough coming. I'm going to tell you something else. They ain't even through with me. It ain't even over with. I'm growing with you. We on a journey over here. I'm growing too. But I'm going to tell you something, honey. Once I get the breakthrough ain't just for me. What for a man to gain the world to lose his soul? The breakthrough ain't just for me. It's for all of us. To lift us as a people. To make a difference. To be the change. To lift the world. I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to use my life each and every day for a better way, growing in God. To tell you to carry on the message. The message is of love. God's will shall be done on earth as it is in heaven. God's will shall be done on earth as it is in heaven. We got to grow forth in God. We got to grow forth in love. We got to grow forth in forgiveness because God is love. Honey, listen. I get so happy. I get so joyous that when it come time to do the Lord's work, which is 24/7, as long as my eyes are open, I get so happy. I just keep on going and going and going. I have to make myself stop, working. I do it all day long, grow all day long. So I take my portable devices, my phone, everything, and just grow on from wherever, just grow out all, to God. Use my life for God because God saved my life. So, and God's will shall be done on earth as it is in heaven. So I'm here to tell you there is a God. So there is hope, so we got to keep on persevering because that's what suffering is. Suffering is perseverance, so we got to keep on persevering because then at the end, guess what? There is the breakthrough. There is the come up. There it is right there. There go the gain. There go the win. There you is. As long as God is in it, you gonna win it. So keep on holding on to God. Keep on growing in God, kings and queens. I'm telling you, keep on with the dream. We got to rise up like the great big tide, honey. I love you. I truly do. I'm going to talk to you like you family. I'm going to tell you something, fam. Cash App is a scam. Cash App is a scam. Cash App can scam me out of $260, fam. I don't know if they done got you too, but I'm going to tell you something. Leave them alone. You might as well go ahead and pay the few extra dollars that you got to pay to Western Union or MoneyGram, and then you're guaranteed to get your money back. Cash App sent that same man, I don't know what's going on with that, but that same man, it's been the same man 3 times who done got on there and told me that he gonna send me the money back and look in the bank for 1 to 3 days, and it never came. So I'm gonna tell you something. That's on my to-do list, honey. I got a lot of things to do, but that's on my to-do list is to get on Cash App, get on that with the OIG, because see, I'm gonna tell you something. I don't even see the money coming back, I don't. But I'm just want to make sure I do a report just because, I don't want to see it to happen to anybody else. What happened with Cash App, I don't know what's going on with them people. But honey, they don't have to worry about me sending them no more money, because see, it's a gamble with Cash App now. You send it and then, they want to take it for my protection. But wait a minute, Cash App, I need to be protected from you. You just snatched my money out of my account. That's bogus. Where the money at? Come on, Cash App. You say you Cash App my money back, Cash App. What's up, Cash App? I'm telling you something. Watch out for Cash App, honey. Cash App is something with that. I don't know. We're going to get to the bottom of it. We're going to get to the bottom of $260. I do know that. And $99, because I know someone else, another queen, that Cash App and Cash App. Cash App been Cash App and they self off us. I'm telling you, see, that's oppression. That's a form of oppression right there. Lying to folks. Cash App got so big, since they been in that song, Cash App been wrong. They been wrong on me. I'm telling on my end, honey, Cash App and Cash App they self off me. So, no more of them. And I'm gonna tell, I got to tell my baby too. That reminds me, don't Cash App, do something different. Anyway, so how you doing? How you living? How you living? We living in living color, honey. We're living in living color. I used to love that show, honey. You can do what you want to do, and you can, kings and queens, by his spirit. Rise up, kings and queens, rise up and wise up. Come on, we gonna wise up in God, honey. I try not to talk too loud here in the lighthouse. See, I'm gonna tell you something. It's a beautiful night outside. It really, truly is, honey. And if it wasn't so busy out there, I'd go stand out there. But no, I just go ahead and shine from inside here, and do some other different things that need to be conducted around here. Inside the lighthouse, this is a beautiful place. It really truly is, to all bring it back full circle, to come back home. I remember one day I was praying in church. I was trying to decide, should I go back to California? Or where should I go? It was always California, honey. California is my heart. I got children that were born in California. Our family's still out there. My baby out there. I got family. I'm telling you. But anyway, so it was a decision between here in California, honey, trying to decide. I was praying, and the Lord told me to stay here. And now I see why. God was preparing me, kings and queens. God was preparing me for a time such as this. When I got on the radio, I was so happy and proud to be on the radio, and preaching the word of God. But I was preaching out the Bible then. I was preaching the gospel of Christianity. And we are not bound under religion. We are not bound under religious law. We are spiritual beings. It's you and God, honey. I got a picture that I took today, and I'm gonna put it up for you so you can see it. It's a number 2 for you and God and your breakthrough. Go with God, honey, on the freedom train. Just go on and go with God, because we rolling on the freedom train for genuine quality and righteousness. That's what we want to flow like a mighty stream. Genuine equality and righteousness, not for a few, but for all, to flow like a mighty stream, not a stopped up drain. Because it's some stuff that really is not right. It's a lot of injustice around us. A lot of injustice around us, all around the globe. As the light of God rotates around this beautiful earth that we live on, so goes the evil all around the world. And so goes the evil. There goes God all around the world, chasing after evil, just driving the evil out. I'm telling you, but God going faster, because I'm going to tell you something. God is a force that's greater than the evil of this earth. God is a force that's greater than the evil of this earth. I'm going to tell you why. Listen here. Never before would I be standing inside of a haunted house at night with the lights out, but I am now, honey, in the lighthouse, because greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. Excuse me. Greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. I'm telling you, say that with power. That's how I want you to say it. Say it with power, honey. Power in your walk. That's how you're going to be. Power in your talk. That's how you gonna be. See, that's why I gotta be with some power, because that's what God give us, is power, honey. So sometimes we gotta raise it up a little bit. We gotta go there a little bit, honey. Just rise it up a little bit. Put a little power up in there. Put you a little power. Put some pep in your step. You are one of God's. You are royalty, honey. Raise up, right? See, I gotta remind myself sometimes. Rise up in God. Put that little bounce back in your walk. Put that little pep back in your step. Get up and raise up. Get up and rise up. Get to marching in for God. Because, see, you one of God's. A soldier in the army. You in the army for God. So rise up, soldier. Straighten up. Stand at attention. And salute to God. Give God the praise for a better way. Here we grow in God. It's time to rise up. It's time to give up some love. That's what you give up. Ain't no collection plate. Ain't no collection plate running around here, because look here. God ain't interested in a collection plate, honey. The only collection plate God is interested is in your heart. That's where the church is at. Church ain't in the building. I done heard so many folks say, I got to go back to church. I got to go back to God. And then start running back to church. Next thing you know, get caught all up in the spiritual warfare all inside the church and say, forget that. That didn't even turn folks away from God. The spiritual warfare that's all up under religion. They doing this and doing that, and then they over here doing this and doing that, and they back there doing this and doing that. They got this church foolishness going on, got that going on. That's how I'm telling you something. I did a lot of church hopping, honey. I did a lot of church hopping in my life. Not that I wanted to. I was trying to find me a church home. But I'm going to tell you, I had to go through so much. I had to go through some classes and levels. I had to study and have fees. I had to have this, and then I had to know this, because one pastor told me, look, you better go back and study. See, you just a baby. You need some more milk. You think you want to preach? Because then I was on the radio. I'm going to tell you something. That kind of hurt my feelings. I'm going to tell you one thing. I'm telling you, don't let nobody speak over your life, first of all. Second of all, I'm going to go there. Second of all, don't let nobody speak over your life, honey. But second of all, remember, you are a child of God. Remember, God put in you by his spirit. Yes, you can. Whatever you want to do. But see what he was telling me by saying I was a baby and I need milk. I ain't no preacher. Go back and study some. See what he was telling me? Yes. I need to go back and start telling it like it is. I need to start using my life as an example to help someone else, to lift someone else, to make a difference, to be the change, to rise us all up, to change the world. That's what we about to do. We about to change the world as we link up and lock up and rise up and push forth in love to drive this evil and hate out and make the world great. That's what we about to do, kings and queens. So let's keep on keeping with the dream. And as we gonna do, rise to reach our greatness in God, we're gonna go head on the freedom train to genuine equality and righteousness in that order. So let's keep on going forth with love and forgiveness, growing in God, rising up each and every day for a better way. I'm gonna tell you something. We all called to preach. We all call. Everybody call. You call. Like Oprah gave everybody a call. I'm telling you all, you call. See, because you called in the heart. All you got to do is go forth and tell somebody about love. I read something. I read where two sisters of mine, got ordained to be ministers. Finally in the church after so long. They finally decide to ordain them. And I wonder what all did they have to do to finally for these kings. I'm going to call them that, for these kings, because I see everybody as kings and queens. because God sent me here to love. For these kings to feel that it's okay for these queens finally to be ordained. We are all called to preach. It don't come back what behind your name. We are all called to preach. Rise up, kings and queens. Start preaching the word of love. God is love. Preach the word of God. Go forth in love. That's what Dr. King told us. Is love. It ain't about no money. It ain't about what's in your pocket. It ain't about what clothes you wear. It ain't about your church flow. The church flow is love. So go forth in love, genuine equality, and righteousness. Different skin, one love, one God who created us. We on a journey over here. We growing over here. We going to keep on growing in God. We going to walk in power. We going to talk in power. We going to put some pep in our step. We going to put on our Sunday best each and every day because we represent God, honey. We are kings and queens in royalty. So each and every day we going to smile the beautiful smile of faith. Greatness reached over oppression through wisdom. Beautiful. You are beautiful. You are all beautiful to me, and I love you. Go forth in love and forgiveness, and go forth, kings and queens, in royalty. I love you. Let's rise.